Hello, Facebook world. I wanted to hop on really quick because a topic that's been coming up for me and even for a lot of my clients and for the people I've been connecting with has been this massive fear of being seen, of fully putting yourself out there to show up, play big, and to start getting the results that they want. So I actually have a launch that I'm doing that I'm going to share with you at the end of this live. But before I do, I really just wanted to hop on and start giving some, practical tips and some wisdom for you guys for why we have such a hard time of being seen and why we play so small in life when really what's calling in our hearts is to go bigger and to shine brighter. So as you guys are coming on, please share yourself. I see Michelle Goodman is on. I love you, sister. Thank you for popping on. I see Chona's beautiful little face in the corner. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you so very much. And if you're watching on the replay, what is up? Hello, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. And I just wanted to give some value today for you guys because a lot of the clients that I work with, they're entrepreneurs, high impact influencers. And a lot of them, know the strategies. They know exactly what to do. They've learned from the other coaches, business coaches. They've bought the online courses and something is holding them back. And what they come to me for, a lot of my clients, is that they want to feel more authentic and they want to be seen for their message. And they want to fully step into their leadership, to speak their truth in their careers and in their business, and to put themselves out there in a bolder and a much bigger way. But again, there's something that's holding them back. I really feel that most of us have some degree of fear of being seen and really putting ourselves out there. And we might think, of this fear as being of the fear of being visible, the fear of shining, a fear of standing out or really revealing ourselves to others. And this fear holds us back. I know the massive pain of playing small and hiding out, of doing all the little things around me, checking things off the box, thinking that I'm being productive, that I'm making progress. But really in the meantime, I'm still hiding out, and the impact of what I'm trying to create is not equivalent to the amount of work I'm doing and also my income. For a while, I would stare at my bank account and go, I'm busting my butt, working so hard, yet the results weren't matching up. And that's because what was happening was I wasn't actually doing the very thing that I needed to do to really build that impact and that income. And that was putting myself out there, being willing to be seen, being willing to get messy and to be bold in who I am and sharing my message. So I know again that this is something that a lot of people struggle with. I pretty much feel like every time I talk to people and I share my messaging of allowing yourself to be seen and to show up fully and playing big and to honoring the commitment that you have to your vision, most people shrink back, or I can feel a tension in their body because this is something that a lot of people struggle with. And so if you guys are on, and I'm seeing Blue, I'm seeing Adam Rubin, what's up guys, Sean Green, Craig, hello you guys, it's so awesome to have you on. If you struggle with this, with being seen or putting yourself out there, let me know. We're in this together and I would love to support you with it, but let's just pop it down in the comments. You can either leave an emoji because I love emojis, or you can just say me, whatever, but I would love to hear from you guys to see who might be struggling with this so that I can support you in some way. But again, I know that feeling, I know that pain, and are we back on? Let me know if we're still on. Can someone actually pop in the comments if we're still on? A phone call came in and I had to turn it off. So are y'all still on? I see Michelle Foster's on. Okay, yay, still on. Thanks, Adam. I don't know how we're able to keep this on without letting phone calls come through, because if we go on airplane mode, it shuts off the Wi-Fi. But anyway, so it was interesting, even about a month and a half ago, I was in San Antonio for a conference. And while I was there, a woman from Alabama approached me and she said, do you have a podcast? And I said, yeah. And she's like, I listened to all 12 episodes last week. And I was like, awesome. And she goes, and I know that what you do is you help people break through limiting beliefs. I went through your website and I saw that you did that. And I said, yeah. And she goes, I was looking for you. I really need support. I know what to do. I know this strategy, but something's holding me back and I feel like I'm in a box. And I could feel that pain in her body because I felt that pain before too, of, wanting to, again, put yourself out there, knowing what you need to do. And the moment you're supposed to hit that live button or put up a post and get vulnerable, or just to share your message with someone at an event, that all of a sudden it's like this grip of tightness where your body goes into fight, flight kicks in, and it sabotages you from going forward. So it was amazing because I got to work with that beautiful woman from Alabama, and we did a lot of deep hypnosis work to help her to break through and upgrade her subconscious beliefs, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But, I wanted to actually drop in to share why it's so important to be seen as well. Because being seen in our most vulnerable state, it's actually what awakens our heart and opens us up to everything that we want to achieve and that we're capable of achieving in this lifetime. But it requires a willingness to step out, to take up space, and to share ourselves and to fully be seen. But again, when you allow yourself to be seen, you bring forth all the dreams that you want. You showcase your talents and the special, unique gifts that you have. And you actually start really living into the purpose of what you're meant to do on this planet in a bigger and bolder way, because no one's going to find you if you hide out. The only way people are going to know to either work with you or to get the support from you is if you actually show up and let them know. So that is a huge reason for why you got to show up and be seen. And what's beautiful is, because it is so tough for so many people to be seen, we've conditioned ourselves to want to hide out and to play small and to almost even be invisible. But because that is almost a conditioning that we have, when you break through, when you choose to go beyond the fears, there's so much growth in that. And I really believe that that's a huge reason for why we're here on this planet, is to grow and to expand and to elevate. And so if you see that that's a fear that you have, by just willing to take it head on and going like, I'm bigger than my fears. My vision is bigger than my fears. I am more courageous than my fears. Then that helps you to grow, to expand, and to elevate, and to really become your greatest version that you are meant to be. So, I know a lot of times we look to the people who are being seen. We see their courage to step out and to show up and to really put themselves out there. And those are the ones that we're actually inspired by. So why couldn't that be you? And I know for the longest time, I'm like, why can't that be me? And it's because I had so many judgments about myself and about what it meant to put myself out there, that I would just sit back and truth-telling time. In the beginning, there were times where I felt super envious, or I would sit back and judge the people who were being bold and really putting themselves out there. And I was judging them because that was a part I judged within myself, thinking that I couldn't do that. And so the only way to make myself feel better in that moment of time was to put them down. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but I am, because of course we're like, I'm all love and light, but you know what? I'm freaking human. And sometimes, and before my transformation, I had those thoughts and those feelings, but it was really because of the pain of holding myself back is what was causing it. And then there were even times where I just felt helpless, and hopeless. Like I wasn't meant to do what I was supposed to do, but that was just because it was an excuse to keep myself right where I was. So yes, Michelle said the judgment is really self-judgment. It sure is, girl. Woo! So when we stop judging ourselves, we'll stop judging other people. And when we start to rise up, we stop judging others who are rising up, right? When people are being bold and really going for it, when we're arm in arm with them and going for it as well, life becomes fucking amazing. Like it really, that's when you start to achieve and have the things that you want, because you're going for it. You're being bold. You're putting yourself out there. And so if this is resonating for you, I want you to check in to see what's holding you back. And, there's a lot of different things that hold people back. And it's really important just to stop and ask yourself, is this, hey, Anthea, what's up, Gladys? Is this fear or is it something else? And what is it that we're actually afraid of, right? I think a lot of our fears actually come down to social anxieties that we're hiding as excuses. Our minds can create all these scenarios of what might happen if we're being seen by others. And usually these scenarios are negative, they're fear-based, and they're judgments towards ourselves, which is what holds us back. So, the fear, again, it often relates to being judged, maybe being laughed at, being rejected in some way, or having our reputation ruined, not saying the right thing. What will people think? Who am I to say anything? What if I get it wrong? What if I get called out for it? Whatever that might be, whatever fear you think it is, whatever conversation, the fear conversation that's cropping up, beneath all of these fears, what I've really found is one lie that we're all telling ourselves. And it's that lie of, what if I'm not good enough? All of that, it boils down to that. We're afraid to be seen because if we're being seen, what if we're shown to be unworthy? What if we're not enough? And it's really like we're just terrified of that truth of who we are is not good enough. Who we are is not worthy. And if people really see us, if they really see the truth, they're not going to love us anymore. And then we're going to be rejected, not loved. And that is so terrifying for us because, as many of you know, all we want is to belong. All we want is to be loved and accepted. So in order to avoid any form of rejection, any form of judgment, we'll hide ourselves out. We'll play small because that way we'll make sure that we'll never be rejected. But what we're actually doing is rejecting ourselves. And that's what causes so much pain. And it's crazy, guys, because I know that we'll do anything and everything to protect ourselves from this pain, to avoid it. So again, we'll shut down, we'll hide out, we'll do things to sabotage our success and block and stand in our own way of what it is that we really want. So it's not something outside of us that's holding us back from what we want. It's something within. It's these roadblocks that we put up for ourselves, these self-limiting beliefs, and also these fears that we let control us. Our fears of, again, being rejected, not being loved, feeling that we're not enough, and feeling that we're not worthy. But again, that's all a bunch of BS. And there is a way and a process to break through, which I'll kind of mention at the end of this. But I kind of wanted to throw up some stuff and some ways of how we sabotage, just to see if this is what you do. Because if this is what you do, guys, I'm inviting you in to working through these sabotaging mechanisms, okay? So the first thing is we start to make up excuses and stories that then have us start to procrastinate. So then we'll start to put off the very things that we want to do, and we'll say we'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it next time. If any of you put things off, let me know in the comments. This is a really common, symptom of fear, which stops us from actually allowing us to step into what we are meant to do, and we just push it off into the future. So something else that we can do to sabotage ourselves is we start to get really confused or unclear, right? So we start to tell ourselves like, I don't really know what to do next. But really that's our brain's way of also sabotaging us. So we start to get confused, unclear. I don't know what to do, but you know what to do. Come on. A lot of us, there's so many ways to figure out what are next steps. You can actually probably just even talk to a friend and brainstorm, and they can give you steps to take. But even if you know the information, it doesn't make a difference. Why? Because we've allowed our unconscious programming that is related to so much of that fear to take control. So again, it's so crazy how sophisticated our subconscious mind is, that it'll make up things and sabotage us in the craziest ways to hold us back, to not feel the pain that we think we're gonna feel if we actually put ourselves out there and show up and shine. So another thing, or another excuse that we might have, and check in if this might be you, is an excuse that we might tell ourselves that we don't know enough, or that we're not ready. So instead of, again, going for it, we get so lost and stuck in the research, in the training, in the figuring it out over and over and over again. And we just keep telling ourselves, I'm not ready, because we also don't want to be perceived as a fraud in some way. And so we can get stuck in the researching and figuring out instead of, again, really putting ourselves out there, which then holds us back again, and we play small. And the crazy thing too is, this is really funny, because I was actually thinking about this the other day when I was talking with a friend, but I saw this as a sabotaging mechanism where she's like, oh, I'm just waiting, for the time to feel really aligned with my actions, to really feel like, I'm just waiting for a sign that I'm on the right path. And I was like, yo, this is your sign right now. Take action, go for it, play big, go for the things you want, and I'm here to support you. It's really funny is one of the greatest compliments I've ever gotten from a friend is, Stephanie, you make me want to throw up. And I was like, yes, because that means I'm pushing you out of your comfort zone, because when we do something that's out of our comfort zone, it kicks up our fight flight mechanism. We want to avoid and not do it. And so all the fears and the tension and anxiety starts to come up, but that's because we're on to something big. So yeah, if you need me to hold your hand while you're throwing up, I'm your partner for that. I will totally help you and hook you up. But breaking through and not waiting for the sign, but this is the sign right now to go for it. Do not let time pass, because I also know the pain of time passing and wishing and looking back and going, God, I wish I would have started that a year ago. Or gosh, I would have, started that 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 5 years ago, whatever it might be. But that sucks. When we just wait and let time pass. Yes, Aviva, I promise I will hold your hand while you puke and we go for your dreams. I got you, dearie. But you guys, playing small, it's not sexy. Playing big is, and you know it. And we admire that. We're inspired by that in other people. So why can't that be you, right? And it can be you. And you can get the support to do that. It's out there. And so I wanted to share with you guys some ways already of how you can start to break through, to be seen. So, instead of pretending or trying to fit in and be comfortable and slowly suffocating yourself on the inside, how about we go for it and start breaking through? So here's a few different things that I support my clients with on allowing them to show up and to start being seen and going after the things that they want. And the first is to learn how to be with the fear. Fears are not going to go away. There's good fear and there's the not so good fear, right? There's the good fear that actually really protects us from true danger. And then the not so good fears are the things that hold us back from what we really want. So if there's something that you want, it's okay if the fears come up. It's just old programming trying to hold you back, having you be afraid of getting rejected, being judged, etc. We talked about that. But being with this fear in the most loving way, and noticing it for what it is. And, I did a really beautiful interview on my podcast with the amazing Amber Ray, and we talked about how to manage these fears. And the first thing is just to name it. Like, name what exactly it is that you're afraid of. Because the moment you name it, it actually loses 50% of its grip on you. That's what neuroscientists say. So if you can name the fear and go, oh, what's actually coming up for me? Name it. And then start to dialogue with that part of yourself. Like, what is it you're so scared of? Oh, you're afraid of being rejected? Oh, you're afraid that people won't like you? Start to get in connection with what that fear is trying to communicate with you. And then partner up with the fear. Let it know, like, hey, you know what? I know that you're freaked out, but I got this mission and this vision I'm up to. Can I just fail a little bit or get a little messy? And then you and I can circle back in about 30 minutes, if we even need to in 30 minutes, or maybe it'll just go away. But that's one way to start being with that fear and start to breathe through it. But there's a really powerful way of not letting the fear hold you back and instead using it to your advantage and using it to fuel you versus hold you back. So the second thing that I love to tell my clients, and this is what they do when they're working with me anyway, is to get a buddy or get a coach who holds you accountable to do what you say you're going to do. So it's interesting because the woman that I worked with from Alabama, we did hypnosis. She wanted to work on confidence, to be able to show up in a room and to speak her truth. But she also wanted to have hypnosis done to become more motivated. So we did this 2-hour deep dive session, which helps her, this process, which is, I freaking love because it pulls any limiting belief and we can rewrite and upgrade the thing and completely transform it. And so within 4 days, her confidence was through the roof. She's like, I literally can't stop myself from speaking up. However, she wasn't still feeling fully motivated to take the action yet. So I was like, hold my hand. If you need to puke, you can puke. I didn't say that, but I was thinking it. And I was like, but let's take the action. And I held deep accountability for her. Like literally every morning I said, you declare to me 2 things that you're going to achieve that are actually the action steps that are going to move you towards what you want. Not the little check off to-do list, the busy work, but the big item actions that are going to actually move you forward towards what it is you want. You text it to me, and by the end of the night, you text to me that you've done it. Okay? So I held deep accountability with her. And it's so interesting how we're willing to let ourselves down and break our word to ourselves, but not to other people, which is why it's so powerful to have someone else to create accountability with and to give your word to, so that you will show up. So get a coach, get an accountability buddy, and make sure that you declare what's important to you. And no matter what, take the action. And even if the fear comes up, I already gave you the steps on how to be lovingly with the fear. Do that. And then the third step is working on the deep subconscious beliefs, right? You got to upgrade these beliefs of I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, people don't love me, people don't care about me, I can't be seen, I can't play big. All the self-limiting stuff, you can actually upgrade that. A belief is just a thought that you've thought over and over again. You think another thought over and over again, you can change it. And especially in hypnosis, you can shift it just like that. But that's like the work that I did with that woman, my client from Alabama, is we went deep dove into her subconscious and started to upgrade her belief systems. And really what you want to do is you want to start to associate pleasure with the things that you want. So right now, for many people, being seen, putting yourself out there and really showing up and playing big, we've associated so much pain with it that we avoid it at all costs. But if you can reassociate pleasure with showing up fully, with allowing yourself to be seen, and it feels really good for you, guess what? You're going to do it more often. Because it's crazy. We've associated a lot of pain with things that are actually really good for us, like the gym, for example. Like so many people are like, ugh, I don't want to go to the gym. And they don't. And they find all these reasons and excuses to sabotage and not go because pain is associated with working out. But then you see people who have total pleasure associated with working out, and they're like the gym rats. They're the ones who are always in there. They'll stay committed to, showing up at the gym, and they'll be there because there's pleasure. So it's the same thing with anything in our life. When you start to associate pleasure with what you want, you're going to start doing it way more. And so all you need to do is some subconscious reprogramming to upgrade those beliefs. So those are 3 hot tips for y'all. I'm going to actually hop off now because I don't know, I like keeping lives a little bit shorter, but I think I might have gone maybe about 20 minutes. But either way, I love you guys. And here's the thing is, when you commit yourself, when you fully commit yourself to yourself and to your dream, it really requires you to step up and allow yourself to be seen. You cannot grow, you cannot have impact, you cannot grow your income, and you can't scale what you're doing if you're hiding out and playing small. So give yourself the greatest gift, which is seeing yourself in action, going for it, allowing yourself to be seen, and discovering what's possible for you in this lifetime when you do. And so guys, if you're ready to, finally break through the fear of being seen so that you can increase your impact, your income, and your fulfillment, like that's truly what it's about, is there's this rush and this amazingness that you feel when you actually show up fully for life in front of others. It's so powerful that if you want that support, I actually have a free 5-day experience called Ignite Your Magic that I'm launching. It starts next Monday, June the 4th. And it's going to help you to break through your fears, to show up, be seen, and unleash your magic to the world. And so this is an online program. You can do it from anywhere. Each and every day of the experience, we're going to start having you break through those fears. I'm going to show you how to do some subconscious reprogramming. And you're going to take some beautiful aligned and inspired action, even if you want to vomit, because that's okay, to put yourself out there with the support of an incredible community. We already have some incredible people inside the private Facebook group who are ready to go. I would love for you to become a part of it if this calls to you. But yeah, you don't have to do this alone. And I encourage you to not stay stuck any longer where you are. Seriously. Like, I know how painful it is to have each and every day pass and to feel like you're not where you want to be. It sucks. So let's all knock it off, shall we? So if that's you, then you got to start taking, again, those inspired, aligned actions consistently, breaking through those limiting beliefs that are not holding you back and upgrading them to new subconscious beliefs that are empowering. But get yourself in to the Ignite Your Magic. You got to sign up to be in, so you can just go to bit.ly/5day Ignite Magic. I'll put the link in the comments below, but again, it's bit.ly/5day Ignite Magic. And I hope that you come in and join me so I can support you in breaking through. And so you guys, if you're watching this and you know that there's someone who could really benefit from this, please tag someone in the comments so that they can see this video. Because yeah, there's so many people out there who have so many incredible gifts to share with the world, and they are just hiding out. And it's time that we all really start to unleash our special gifts, because this world needs it. And I know the pain of hiding out. I also know the pleasure of playing big, and we can all have that if we choose to. So I invite you guys to come play with me. Everybody who's been watching, thank you for the love and support. I love you all so much. And I'll see you inside Ignite Your Magic. I love you.